Hello and welcome to Bloomberg Quint. Agam and I are here to wrap the markets for you, and it was a strong trading day as far as the Indian markets were concerned. Strong gains for the Nifty and the Sensex after Friday's sell-off. So it was a gap-up opening for the Nifty, even as Asian and European markets recorded a smart rally after the FBI said that Hillary Clinton's handling of emails wasn't a crime, and that comes just 2 days ahead of the US elections. But the Nifty did cross that 8500 mark, but gave up most of the gains just in the last half an hour of trade to end just about 3 points short of that 8500 mark. But the good part is that the Nifty has recovered all of Friday's losses. The advance decline ratio was also favorable for and the Nifty 500 index for the broader market at about 5:2. All sectoral indices traded in the green. PSU Bank index that jumped about 4%, led by SBI and Bank of Baroda. Of course, post Punjab National Bank earnings that came out on Saturday, but in comparison, the IT index underperformed. So that gained just about 0.4%. So it was so IT and auto were just the two sectors which gained the least today, and that's exactly what our question, the Bloomberg poll of the day was. We asked if today's morning strength in the IT indices will hold ahead of US elections, and Agam, 42% said yes and 53% said no.
Right.
So that's how it is. What are you learning from the futures and options?
Well, just a couple of things. Obviously, you're not going to have a lot of positions being built up because we are moving into a very big event. So with respect to your futures, that is your Nifty and your Nifty Bank futures, you've seen a little bit of an unwinding. That's because we had a really weak day on Friday where we were testing 8400. We're just shy of 8500. So with respect to levels, let's take a look at what's happened in the options market today. We've seen a spike in the 8500 put, and that's where you see at least some traders out there are betting on the downside, given the fact that we are looking at an increase there. Considering the fact that we once again moved away from 8400 towards 8500, we've seen a little bit of unwinding in calls. That's where you see looking at profit taking. So with respect to maximum open interest, it's the 9000 call and the 8200 level, but of course this is a very wide range. So the most immediate levels that we will be working with as far as our own markets go over the next couple of days will be the 8400 mark, and well, it'll be somewhere between 8600 and 8800 depending on the way the market takes the news. But that's as far as range is concerned, Shraddha. With respect to today's market, we've had Lupin as one of the biggest gainers. Why? That's
correct. So in fact, Agam, Lupin rose the most in 4 months, and this is even as it got clearance or EIR from the US FDA for its Goa plant, which had received some observations under 483. Now Goa plant is important or critical for Lupin, given that it accounts for almost 50% of the supplies to the US, and it also accounts for about 30% of the pending applications, and hence this clearance obviously was taken as a positive. Many important or key products are also filed from Goa, which are just going to which are upcoming and will impact FY17 numbers. So regulatory overhang over valuations now seem to be receding, and also faster approvals will start trickling in, and on the back of that we saw that strong 7% sort of rally in Lupin. Agam, that apart, in terms of the other Nifty movers, you had Aurobindo Pharma that also saw some rub-off effect from Lupin clearance. You also had Sun Pharma and Dr. Reddy's, which you can't see here, but they opened higher after that Friday share price crashes. So that was as far as pharma is concerned. Hindalco continues to rally up 5%. SBI, Bank of Baroda, ICICI Bank also seeing gains of almost 3% ahead of the earnings. We're expecting the numbers to come out any moment from now. BHEL, again, we have earnings tomorrow. So these were some of the top gainers. On the losing side, TCS, again a IT name, followed by Tata Motors, Bharti Infratel and L&T. So these were some of the names as far as the Nifty movers are concerned. But Agam, earnings that we watch today?
Yes, so we had a very good set of numbers from Godrej Consumer Products. We've seen about 11% growth in terms of its top line. We've seen about 100 basis points improvement with respect to its gross margins. Its EBITDA margins also expanded by 50 basis points to well over 19%. That also brings me down to its profitability with a growth around 44%. So good set of numbers, just a tad shy of expectations. Right. But I don't think that's something the street's going to be worrying about, because there was more or less expected lines. And once again, we've also had numbers from Shree Cements. That's where we've seen a little bit of disappointment with respect to your profitability. But otherwise, we really haven't seen too much of a reaction in either of these stocks going in.
All right, another stock that we want to address is going to be PNB Housing Finance, because that debuted at rupees 863, so 11% premium over its issue price, so or close to about 88 rupees, so slightly lower than what the grey market premiums on Friday were suggesting. But then we've had markets also fall on Friday. Varun Beverages is going to list tomorrow, so that was subscribed about 1.8 times,
right.
Not a stellar subscription number, so that's what we're looking out for. And that apart, one more stock that I'm going to address is Crompton Greaves, because
right.
it saw a fantastic rally. So they received a binding agreement for their automation business for an enterprise value of 120 million euros. So that was taken as a big positive in terms of deleveraging, which Crompton Greaves has been doing. That apart, Agam, what were the other mid-cap movers?
Right, so in the broader markets, well, we have seen some strength with respect to the index itself, which brings us now to your advances and declines. So in the Nifty 500 index, we have seen about 350 advances as against 45 odd declines. Shraddha's also already mentioned about Crompton Greaves gaining well over 11.5%. Future Consumer is the other stock that stands out today, up as much as 8.2%. And Shrey Infrastructure Finance, along with Chennai Petro, and of course Dynamatic Technologies, sees gains of as much as 5%. With respect to losers, well, Neel Kamal, of course, we had earnings, and that's the reason why you're looking at some weakness there. Gujarat Pipavav, Bajaj Holding, and Rallis India all losing anywhere between 3 to 4%. But once again, today's day belonged to gainers, and that's also what we have with respect to mid caps. Tomorrow is going to be another big day. Not only are we looking at earnings from Bharat Forge, Interglobe Aviation, Ashok Leyland, Tata Communications as well, but of course we will also see the global indices move as we look out for the results from the US presidential elections. So it is going to be a very important day, and perhaps even more important with respect to taking positions than day after. That's when you have the results out. But so based on what we have tomorrow, you can you can always come and join us once again on the Market Wrap at 3:45 p.m. tomorrow. Until then, it's goodbye.